Hey, thanks for joining me today. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about something new. I'm doing a Source 1 build. This is a V3. I got it right before the V4 came out. But yeah, so I'm trying some new stuff here. And I figured I'd show you. I'm not going to show you the entire build because I'm still waiting on some parts to come in. But since I'm doing Kiss on this frame, I haven't really seen any videos covering this. And I think it might be helpful for some of you folks out there. So what I have going on here is I've got the Impulse RC 5-volt regulator on the back here, mounted. I just bought some hardware. Mounts up kind of nicely. And I think the big thing with these FET Tech builds is the capacitor that you need to run. So what I'm doing here is I basically took the leads, add a little wire, and the plan is with some double-sided sticky tape, kind of stick it down on the back here, and then connect it up. Very simple. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna strip our XT60. I keep it pretty short. The idea being that I kind of want it to land about here. Might be a little on the short side. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. And I decided I'm not going to fill these holes with the wire first. Sometimes I'll do that to make sure it's really secure in there, but something like this, you want to be able to remove it. Also, what I like to do is, I don't know if you can see this, but I like to put a little solder on these. A nice ball on there. It helps keep it from fraying and potentially shorting something out. So I like to give a nice little coating there. So how do I want to do this? I think I almost want it sideways. I'm gonna just attack it a bit here. Just so it sticks, I'm gonna fix this. I'm not happy with that, but I think this needs to move a little bit away. Add a little more solder on here because I can see the strands coming through a little bit on this guy. I really want to make sure I got a nice solid solder here. And I need even more. There we go. Okay, let's get in there. And I'm making sure I get a nice solid wet looking ball. And this is a very difficult angle. Difficult because I can't really hold it at the neck where I want to. Okay, that's better. Do it while it's nice and hot. So this, I want to feed, I'm going to feed the positive underneath. And then the negative, my ground is going to come around here. And I'm gonna have to touch this up anyway once I get the cap going. Super happy with this. There we go. Better. All right, and now let's do our cap. The cap I'm actually going to try to get off to the right side of the ground here. There we go. I'm wondering, yeah, I think I want this to go underneath. I want to make it so that when I crash, actually, yeah, over the top is fine. Basically trying to make it so that when I crash, and when I crash hard, nothing comes loose. It's going to short out and ruin my equipment here. So since I'm reusing this cap from an old FetTech build, I think I'm just going to redo the double-side sticky tape. So I think the tracer is just gonna sit kind of right there. Cool. That'll be done later. Okay, so now we're gonna get started on motor wires. So let's see here. I'm trying out these newbie drones. These are the flow motors. I think they're 2306.5 and I think they're 1850 kV. So I've been flying the steel motors for a little over a year and change. And those are, when I was on the V2s, they were 1700. Then he bumped them up to 1750 in his version 3. And I've been pretty happy. And one of the reasons why I'm trying this out is because there was 8 for 100, and so it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, give it a whirl. Try something new, try something a little higher kV, try a new frame. It's kind of my experimental build. I don't know why I'm so shaky today. I was doing fine before. I probably need to eat some breakfast. Okay. So again, what I like to do is just put a little solder here on the tip. It just helps keep the wire from fraying while you work with it. Then you take your first one, and I use these notches here, and you just kind of wiggle it in, and you do it quickly. This one has a little bit of a lump. Okay. Actually, I want to do this one a little shorter. Let's see. It's all about getting a good grip on the neck. There you go. Why that's important to me is I realized I was soldering more to the top of the pad here than using the full groove. And if you use the full groove, if you lower your motor wire a bit and use the full height of the board, you'll get a much stronger connection, which is pretty important considering my last big hiccup was a motor wire broke loose and started a short and started a fire. Resulting in another ESC down. So, like to avoid that, like to save my money. So something that I'm trying to do, just a little tip, is obviously you want to keep your motor wires long enough so that they're not super tight. So in a crash, you have a little bit of flex. And at the same time, you want it to fit well. So I kind of gave myself about, a tiny about the length of the exposed wire is about how much I'm allowing it to, like that's, the length of the exposed wire is about the thickness of the board. So my plan is to kind of have it sit in here nice and neat. So let's go ahead and tin these wires. Wrap strap holding this in. I did the wrap strap around the this plate to kind of help keep it from rotating too much during flight and crashes. Then we've got our regulator board in the back, mounted with screws and nuts. Tracer diversity. I'm running a little 3D printed mount here that gives me my vertical polarization. I've got my cap, which I attach the leads to. A little bit of wire goes right to the lipos. That's held down with double-sided sticky tape. I'm kind of chopping these. So these are the new flow motors from Newbie Drone, but they've got kind of like a tall stator on them. So yeah, so I'm in the process of cutting those down. Okay. Last one. Okay, what do we think? Nice and flat. I think that looks way cooler. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. This is kind of a very basic, cheap frame. I wanted to do something inexpensive for my next build and just kind of do a little more experimenting. I chopped a little piece of prop here, drilled some holes in it. That's kind of my chin guard. So yeah, I'll let you know how I enjoy flying this.